news headlines. House of Assembly commends government for converting abandoned 10th anniversary hotel to secretariat. Another set of 1,000 youths in the state trained in information and communication technology. And state government fast-tracks process of enacting fiscal and procurement law. Details shortly. Good morning and thanks for joining us on the news. I am Samuel Udofia. As part of its oversight functions, the House of Assembly Committee on Lands, Housing and Urban Renewal has visited the former 10th anniversary hotel project, now redesignated State Secretariat Annex. The committee, led by Mr. Emmanuel Ekpenyong, representing the Ini-State constituency, was received at the Secretariat Annex site by the Commissioner for Housing and Urban Renewal, Mr. Enebong Uwa. Chris Nkamp reports.
The chairman of the committee, Emmanuel Ekpenyong, commended the state governments for turning the hitherto abandoned projects to a secretariat for the use of Akwa Ibom civil servants. He said apart from easing the office accommodation problems, the project will also enhance the aesthetics of the state's capital. The lawmaker expressed satisfaction with the progress of work at the site and appreciated the Ministry of Housing and Urban Renewal for its commitment to actualizing the government's objective.
So I want to say we are grateful to be here, and there is a mandatory work that as legislator supervising the executive, we need to do our oversight function, and that is why we are here.
The Commissioner for Housing and Urban Renewal, Mr. Enebong Uwa, led the House committee members on a tour of the facility where he showed them some of the units, including the reception, studio, laboratory, conference room, canteen, offices and staff clinic. He said the redesigning and reconstruction of the Secretariat Annex began in September and will be completed in January next year.
For a building that you are renovating, it is worse than the one that you are starting afresh. But in 2 months, what you will see here will surprise you.
Also yesterday, a member of the committee and member representing Ikorobasi Eastern Obolo State Constituency, Barrister Uruak Orudo, paid a condolence visit to the family of the late A.W. Essien, who was popularly called Mac Willie in Ikorobasi. Addressing members of the family, Barrister Orudo recalled that the late Essien, in his capacity as the chairman of the PDP Elders Forum in Ikorobasi, received Governor Udom Emmanuel when he first consulted the people of the area. The lawmaker lamented the loss of such a great politician whose wealth of experience was needed to guide the present voyagers in the political spectrum. He prayed for the soul of the departed politician to rest in peace, while appealing to those he left behind to bear the irreparable loss with fortitude.
I am here alongside with other party faithful to pay respect to your late father, one of the founding members of 1998, even when most of us did not join PDP that time.
Those who also spoke during the visit included some leading politicians in Ikorobasi, as Elder Atako Ukoro and Mr. Shelley Okoko.
It's a delight that he has fully lived his life.
Responding on behalf of the family, the first son of the deceased, Mr. Ekere Essien, appreciated the lawmaker for the visit, promising that they will imbibe the political principles of their late father, even as he appealed to Akwa Ibom people to join hands in giving his late father a befitting burial.
We, the family, we are very, very grateful to you. We are very, very thankful to you for this benevolence, for this kindness, for the show of love that you have shown this family.
Women's Leadership Retreat, organized by the Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Welfare, has been held with a charge to Akwa Ibom women to lead by example and consciously change the mindset of others through initiating processes that will usher in better attitude. The retreat, which took place at the Royalty Hotels, Eket, provided a platform for the women to be educated on how they can contribute to the change they desire, live healthy lives and observe the protocols and etiquette expected of them in public. Patricia Odor was at the retreat and filed in the following report here presented.
Addressing participants drawn from the 31 local government areas of Akwa Ibom State, the wife of the governor, Mrs. Martha Udom Emmanuel, who was represented by the Commissioner for Women Affairs and Social Welfare, Dr. Gloria Det, urged the women to apply all that the retreat has exposed them to. She charged the women as agents of change to add value to the lives of the people around them, facilitate change in the society, and adhere to the governor's call to rise to moral transformation, spiritual rebirth, and greatness. The governor's wife said the yearly leadership retreats, which has been held in all the 3 senatorial districts, has brought together grassroots and highly accomplished women to brainstorm on issues affecting them.
An agent of change must add value to the lives of the people around her and bring about the most desired change in our society and rise to moral transformation, spiritual rebirth, and greatness.
The wife of the transition chairman, Eket Local Government Area, Mrs. Bright Achibong, thanked the Akwa Ibom State government for taking the workshop to Eket, expressing the belief that it would be of immense benefit to Akwa Ibom women. Papers were presented by Professor Queen Obinaju of the Faculty of Education, University of Uyo, on the theme of the retreat, A Woman Leader as an Agent of Change. A Chief Nursing Officer, Mrs. Grace Ekanam, presented a paper titled Health is Wealth, while the Dean of Student Affairs, University of Uyo, Dr. Isong Esat Solomon, presented a paper on protocol and etiquette, taking the women through the various mannerisms, behaviors, and attitudes expected in public. To participants at the retreat, lessons learned will help them provide quality leadership henceforth.
I thank the governor of Akwa Ibom State for giving approval for the Ministry of Women Affairs to conduct this workshop. It has reminded all the women of what they should do. We as women, most especially those at disadvantaged position, to be up to their responsibilities.
I've learned a lot today, and I'm happy I came for this retreat. I've learned about etiquette, I've learned about protocols, I've learned about healthy living, and I think I'm impressed and satisfied I came.
And that we are also agents of change, and we can effect those changes in our homes, in the church, in the market. That man that is in your life, which is your husband, your son, your brothers, you should compliment them.
This has to do with the way we conduct ourselves in public places, the way we relate with people in our workplaces, that we have to be polite, we have to be pleasing to other people. We don't have to show off because we are leaders.
Henceforth, keke operators that flout traffic rules are to face the wrath of the law. The Commissioner for Transport, Dr. Godwin Tugude, gave the warning when he met with members of Road Transport Employers Association and keke operators at Afarubeitam Primary School in Uyo. The story is once again here presented.
Dr. Tugude frowned at a situation where keke operators use speed lane, block earpiece to listen to music while on the road, drink and get themselves involved in road crashes. The Commissioner said it is disheartening to see keke operators make and answer calls and also involved in criminal activities such as snatching of commuters' luggages and other illegal activities, warning that anyone caught will be dealt with. Dr. Ntogude said it is possible for them to live an exemplary life using the man that returned 580,000 as an example and implore them to buy tickets rather than plying villages to avoid the purchase of tickets.
Open your heart. Welcome the visitors. Be nice to the people you carry. Please show the greatest sense of hospitality and let them go with a very positive, good message and opinion that indeed you are worthy.
The sector commander of Federal Road Safety Corps, who was represented by God-Gift Owen, enjoined keke and other drivers to uphold the tenets of the profession and observe traffic rules to avoid harassment. The sector commander said drivers should always remember that they have families and loved ones and addressed them to drive safely.
That's why sometimes we say that welcome is better than sorry. And because of this thing, we always pray that you must be careful at all times. We have come to the end of the year. A lot of us belong to unions. A lot of us belong to associations. Some of us are in higher positions. We want to meet up.
Responding, some KK riders complained of maltreatment from task force and promised to obey the rules governing them. Iyagino Paul reporting.
The Commissioner for Economic Development, Dr. Emmanuel Atem Owoduke, has said the state government is working assiduously to fast-track the process of enacting the fiscal and procurement law in Akwa Ibom. The Commissioner made this known when a joint team from Guild of Community Development Advocates in Akwa Ibom State and African Network for Environment and Economic Justice, ANEF, led by its Executive Director, Mr. David Ugolo, paid an advocacy visit on him. Dr. Owoduke said the draft bill has been forwarded to the Ministry of Justice for vetting, noting that the Procurement Law Act, when passed into law, would promote accountability and establish standards of procurement in the state. The Commissioner further explained the law would enable ministries, departments and agencies set up tender boards to encourage transparency. He commended the efforts of the Guild of Community Development Advocates for collaborating with other organizations to train and promote the cause of civil society organizations, CSOs, explaining that the existence of CSOs is to help further accountability and transparency in governance.
Only reason we are here.
Speaking on behalf of the group, the Executive Director of Guild of Community Development Advocates, Mr. Harry Udo, informed the Commissioner that the joint organization had organized a workshop designed to enhance the capacity of civil society organizations on advocacy and strategic engagement with state governments. He said the workshop was to help promote good governance and sustainable development in Akwa Ibom State.
We mentioned this today because we see civil society organizations as partners in development with the government.
1,000 youths in the state have been trained on online micro work to enable them acquire skills in the ICT world to help them be self-reliant. The training, put together by the state government in partnership with the Federal Ministry of Communication and Technology, was declared open by the Commissioner for Science and Technology, Mrs. Elizabeth Obot. The story is here presented in our studios.
The Commissioner for Science and Technology, Dr. Elizabeth Obot, explained that the training is part of government efforts to fulfill its promise to equip youths and launch them into the globalized technology-driven economy. According to her, the one-day training will give the participants the opportunity to apply for jobs online, access services, as well as provide services that may be needed from them. The Commissioner said information has that an estimation of about 1,000 jobs are available online daily, so there is need to educate youth in the state on how to access these opportunities. She thanked Governor Udom Emmanuel for working hard to ensure the certification of youths who earlier took part in the first phase of Oracle training, as well as plans to establish Digital Bridge Institute, which will boost high ICT capacity development in the state.
Equip you with requisite skills to be competitive, to occupy certain offices and apply for jobs that is available out there. And that all our planned investments in this state are for you.
The personal assistant to the Governor on Political Affairs, Comrade Niobong Ememobong, charged the youths to use the training to gain knowledge that will empower them economically and make good use of the internet.
He explained that the 1,000 participants will be divided into groups to make the exercise hitch-free.
Before now, you'd have had to pay your transport fare to Abuja or Lagos or the big cities where such trainings are made available. But His Excellency the Governor, in his wisdom and through his magnanimity, has said that all trainings going on anywhere in this country that are beneficial to people must also come to Akwa Ibom.
A program analyst from the Federal Ministry of Communication and Technology, Mr. Dauda Samson, explained the gains of the program to include reduction in unemployment, youth restiveness, as well as exposure to online services. Some youths expressed their sentiment about the training.
Know how to make money online. So this is an opportunity to know more about software and know more about online. So
I want to learn more things from the program.
This is an opportunity that I can use the internet to make money. I have a page, I do marketing for people.
After the break, new event center opens in Uyo. Stay with us.
Youth and sports development are cardinal in the 5-point agenda of Governor Udom Emmanuel. What will be the approach to achieve and sustain the development of this sector? Listen to the Commissioner for Youth and Sports, Samonde Bonwoko, on the program Unveiling the Mandate on AKBC Channel 45, Saturday, 28 November 2015 by 11 a.m. To participate, text your comment to 0816 392 9018.
There is a land of great beauty and wonderful people. Here, Mary Slessor called home until she passed on to greater glory. Here, Lord Lugard lived and administered Nigeria. The hills roll like the waves, and the waves rise like the hills. A land named after God, Akwa Ibom State, the land of promise. Welcome to Akwa Ibom, the land of promise.
We're still watching AKBC News at Dawn, and I'm Samuel Udofia. An event center, Ejagain, located at number 10 Utep Street off Nelson Mandela Street, Uyo, has opened for business. The center has 2 halls with the capacity to seat 900 guests. The report of the opening ceremony is here presented.
Speaking at the opening of the hospitality facility, the chairman on the occasion, Mr. Sukwa Chibamusanga, commended the proprietor of the facility for his patriotic disposition in locating the edifice in Uyo, even when he resides outside the state. He described the facility as a 5-star modern event center, which stands shoulder high among its contemporaries in other parts of the country, and sued for patronage to make for returns on investment.
I want to comment on whether this form for the security of God, the liberation of the Father, God, and of the Holy Spirit.
In the exhortations, 2 ministers of the Church of Christ, Evangelist Eneti Akpan and Evangelist Sangulokun, described the proprietor of the facility, Mr. James Akpan, as a man who has risen from 0 level to become a hero because he has been a source of blessings to many. They charge the gathering to continue to trust in God and bring Him onto their lives, and also give Him the first fruits of their endeavors, as well as bequeath legacies that will speak for them long after they have gone. Welcoming guests to the event, the proprietor of Ejagain Event Center, Mr. James Edetakpan, said the name was coined from the names of members of his immediate family. He said the journey of establishing a business concern by that name started 20 years ago in 1995 when he registered Ejajin with the Corporate Affairs Commission. Mr. Ekpan described the facility as one-stop service center with 2 distinctively furnished halls with the capacity to seat up to 900 guests for varieties of events. Other components of the event center, he said, include 2 mini conference halls, waiting rooms, mini-mart, an expansive parking space, cooling vans, indoor decoration and catering services, among others. He announced that clients will enjoy 5% discount of the prevailing cost of renting the halls.
In order to do His will, in order to do what God has given us the opportunity to do, I want to say, it's not by my might, it's not by my power, it's not by my strength, it's by the power of Almighty God.
The event featured formal unveiling of the facility's website and online booking portal, which could be accessed on www.ejajineventcenter.com.ng.
Dazzle Shea Butter Industries Uyo has launched a program known as an indirect marketing scheme. The scheme, according to the Uyo director of the company, Mr. Ubong Thompson, is aimed at improving the living standard of the people and alleviating poverty. Yaino Paul takes us there.
The launch began with the carnival float, where marketers of shea butter as well as intending marketers walked around the Korekbene, Aka, Oron, Ikpa, Wangiba, and the Dero roads, among others. After the float, the Uyo director and South-South coordinator of Nespan Shea Butter, Mrs. Ubong Thompson, said the indirect marketing empowerment scheme is in 2 categories. Mrs. Thompson said with 20,000 naira, an interesting person will be given 20 big jars of shea butter to sell to 20 distributors and earn 100,000 naira instantly, while those that register with 10,000 naira will get 20 small jars of the product, earning 50,000 naira weekly or monthly. She advised interested persons to visit Helena Plaza at 260 Abak Road, near Federal Secretariat in Uyo, for more information.
The scheme we are talking about today is called Indirect Marketing Empowerment Scheme, that is going to alleviate poverty in the land. 20 times 20 is 400. And then we pay you 250 naira each times 400 is 100,000.
Performing the launch of the empowerment scheme, the director in the Ministry of Justice, Pastor Nefiok Stephen, described the initiative as unique, saying it is in line with the Dakada philosophy of the present administration. Pastor Stephen noted that the scheme will put food on tables, alleviate unemployment, put smiles on the faces of the people, and enjoined the people in the state to grab the opportunity.
When the governor says Dakada, the governor is saying, rise up and be up and doing. Don't sit inside the room praying and dreaming. Prayer and faith without work is useless.
The branch managers of Eket and Uyo also bade their minds on the initiative. Prayers were also raised for the growth of the company. Yaino Paul reporting.
The Nigerian Environmental Society NES Akwa Ibom State Chapter is to hold the Maiden Stakeholders Forum on the Environment scheduled for Friday 27 November 2015, that's today, at the Emerald Event Center, 199 Ededakwan Avenue, 4 Lanes, Uyo, at 10 o'clock this morning. In a release by the Chairman Planning Committee, says the event is aimed at gathering stakeholders to discuss pertinent issues that relate to environment, health and safety. Topics that will be discussed include waste management, environmental impact assessment (ETA), and flood and erosion menace, and Akwa Ibom State experience. The event will attract the political class, academia, entrepreneurs, lovers of environment, and the media. A communique will be issued on the topics under discussion, as well as stakeholders' views to suggest measures likely to bring about environmental sustainability. The keynote address will be presented by a renowned soil chemist, Professor Trenchard Ibia of the University of Uyo. As part of the preparation for the forum, some members of the executive, led by the chairman, Professor Mrs. Comfort Eto, paid courtesy visits on the Commissioners for Environment and Mineral Resources, Health, Information and Education.
And why are we interested in the environment? Because the environment is you. If you have a good environment, you live a good life.
The Society will also use the opportunity to flag off and launch the Safe School program aimed at creating awareness in pupils and students in schools and communities as Catch Them Young initiative. Governor Udom Emmanuel will declare the stakeholders forum open. The Akwa Ibom State Police Command has warned against violation of law on motorcycle ban within the Uyo metropolis. According to a statement by the command and signed by the State Police Public Relations Officer ASP Cordelia Mwawe, any motorcycle found within the metropolis will be impounded, while owners of such motorcycles will face prosecution. The statement indicates that the command will no longer fold hands and watch such irregularity as it promotes hazards like crime, adding that measures have been put in place to ensure implementation of the enforcement. The statement advises members of the public to adhere to directives in order to avoid unnecessary embarrassment. Staff of the 4 organs in the Ministry of Finance have paid a condolence visit to the Commissioner of Finance, Mr. Akanokun, over the death of his brother, late Professor Ekong Okun. The delegation, which comprised of the management and senior staff of the Ministry of Finance, Headquarters, State Budget Office, Office of the Accountant General, and the Internal Revenue Service, was led by the Permanent Secretary, State Budget Office, Pastor Nicholas Ekarika, who is also the Acting Chairman, Internal Revenue Service. Commiserating with Mr. Akanokon, the Permanent Secretary said the ministry was saddened by the news of his brother's death and had come to mourn with him. He described the late Professor Okon as a prolific scholar whose life was an inspiration to many, adding that his death has left a huge vacuum not only in the Okon family but also the University of Uyo community and the state in general.
It's been touched by this incident, and we feel that it is the right thing for us to come and see. We will bear with you, we console you.
Responding, Mr. Akanokon expressed delight for the show of love and support extended him and his family by the ministry. The Commissioner lauded the synergy among staff of the 4 organs of the ministry, which he said was demonstrated in their coming together as a family to console him. He used the medium to officially invite the staff to the burial of Professor Ekong Okon, holding at Government Primary School in Biatorita on Friday, 27th of November 2015.
The entire Ministry of Finance, all the departments, we are able to assemble together here to commiserate with me on the death of my brothers. That I say, may God bless you. Amen. I pray to God that this spirit that is
currently prevailing in our ministry, in our establishment, will continue in Jesus.
Well, that's our package. Thanks for watching and have a great weekend.